There's been a great deal of conversation about building a wall. And it's been my experience that we need to have barriers, but building a wall is not the way to prevent the flow of drugs or people illegally across our border. I think it requires ranging from drones to towers to use of some of the technological advantages that we have. If you just very briefly tell us what you think is necessary to have a secure border.
Physical barrier in and of itself will not do the job. It has to be really a layered defense. If you were to build a wall from the Pacific to the Gulf of Mexico, you'd still have to back that wall up with patrolling by human beings, by sensors, by observation devices.
Isn't it technology that would help us secure the border as much as anything else? I'm talking about surveillance, I'm talking about capabilities to intercept, but not to just sit there. In other words, frankly, the kind of border security that we see in Israel.
Technology would be a big part of it, yes, Senator.
And that technology would that be drones? Would
observation
it be
devices.
Towers?
You know, the aerostats, observation devices mounted in certain terrain features, UAVs for sure, sensors in places perhaps that the wall can't be built or won't be built in anytime soon in terms of the immensity of that project. But yes, sir.
And as you well know, we are experiencing a dramatic increase in deaths from overdoses, what many have called an epidemic. I'm very interested in your views and taking into fundamental economics that if there's a demand, there's going to be a supply. But what is your view of that situation, General?
Most Americans don't realize it, but an awful lot, 100% of the heroin that we consume in the United States is in fact produced in Mexico, and it's creeping down now into Central America. They have responded, the cartels, the networks, have responded to the demand. So instead of Asia and South Asia, it now is all produced here in the Western Hemisphere. Poppies are grown in countries as far south now as Guatemala, a little bit in Colombia, although they're getting after it. But it is all produced here. An awful lot of the opioids, what looks like pharmaceuticals, are actually produced, again, in Mexico, and then pirated up here through the border. And of course, part of the problem, I think, and this would be outside my particular area if confirmed, but part of the problem is we are a very overly medicated society. Huge amounts of opioids are prescribed legally for things that in the past would probably not receive that level of medication. So the point is, huge problem, getting worse, and the profits are just unbelievable to the cartels that control the whole marketing and transport.